Tax cut bonuses. We all know famously that Nancy Pelosi called them crumbs. Pathetic crumbs, I think. Now, one Republican congressman sponsoring a bill that would make that extra cash tax-free. And in a swipe at Ms. Pelosi with the name of the bill, it's the CRUMBS Act. Joining us now, the man behind all of this, Indiana Congressman Todd Rokita. Congressman, great to have you here. What does CRUMBS stand for?
Well, I'll have to go back and actually look. It's, but it's a real bill, and we would need to get it past the House of Representatives and over to the Senate. But what it does, I mean, it takes the bonuses you get in 2018 and makes them tax-free. It really is a swipe at the Washington liberal political elite who thinks they know better what to do with your money than you do. And we saw that with the use of the word crumbs by Nancy Pelosi. And
it's amazing, isn't it? The Democrats have really, in their campaign of resistance, have put all of their eggs in this basket of saying this is a terrible thing. There's a dark cloud hanging over the White House, and yet consumer optimism is up, small business optimism at record levels, and the economy is starting to rev. I mean, that's a dangerous strategy, is it not, for the Democrat Party?
I think it is, and again, it's just this liberal elite mentality that they know how to run our lives better than we do. You know, the fact of the matter is they think that the fruit of our labor, our money, is actually theirs. It's the government's, and they need a lot of that to run their terrible big government policies. What Donald Trump is doing with his tax cuts is saying, no, it's our property. Confiscate as little of it as absolutely possible to run the bare necessities under our Constitution. This is a step in the right direction to get us back there. We have a long way to go.
Our crack staff have found it, creating real and useful middle-class benefits and savings.
Yes.
The acronym CRUMBS. I love it. Congressman, I have to talk about gun control, of course, at the forefront of the debate right now. When you get back to Washington, is this going to put infrastructure and immigration and all of that, is it going to put that back on the back burner?
Well, I'll tell you, it certainly has the risk to do that, and, you know, so be it. If this is the priority and we need to have discussions about it, we will. I like to think that Congress can walk and chew gum at the same time. I know people differ, but this congressman can. And, you know, like I said on your show before, if things need to be discussed to bring them into the 21st century, we should do that. Where I'm going to stop is on anything that hinders a good guy with a gun to go after a bad guy with a gun, because ultimately that's how this is won. That's how you keep people safe, not by taking the guns away from the good guys.
Well, and to that point, the president said, look, you know, I'm all behind improving the background check system, raising the minimum age to buy some of these weapons, banning bump stocks. So those are the types of things that you can support?
I like to talk about them. I need to know the details.
Right.
But I think certainly when I was Indiana Secretary of State, you know, we brought that office into the 21st century by using technology and databases so that businesses information could be shared and talk with each other, brought costs down. And in this situation, I think the same technologies can be employed to make sure our agencies are communicating with each other at the state and federal level. Because, again, we don't want bad guys to have guns, but we want to make sure we don't stop good guys from having the firepower they need to keep us safe.
And while I still have you very quickly, you know, the midterms just around the corner, how confident are you that the Republicans can hang on to the House? It seems like the polls are starting to narrow a little bit.
You know, I'll tell you, the Republican Party is, for the first time in a long time, the party of the working men and women again. And I never want to lose that. And that's what the CRUMBS Act does. The CRUMBS Act should be a rallying cry for Trump voters to come to the polls, just like deplorables was. Because what Nancy Pelosi was saying with the CRUMBS Act was the same thing that Hillary Clinton was saying with deplorables. So come to the polls, you know, use crumbs as the rallying cry to make sure we get Trump allies in the Senate. And me, Todd Rokita, I'm one of those. So.
Very good. Well, Congressman Rokita, thanks so much for taking the time to join us today. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.